Rahui Katene.
Speaker. E te mani kōrero, tēnā koe. E te whare, tēnā koe. Tēnā koutou katoa. My question is to the Prime Minister. How will his commitment to addressing the challenges of our shared future as New Zealanders in respect of Te Tiriti or Waitangi address the challenge left by the United Nations Special Rapporteur on the situation of the human rights and fundamental freedoms of indigenous peoples, of the extreme disadvantage in the social and economic conditions of the Māori people?
The Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, the Government is doing a lot to address the issues the member refers to. In the treaty claims process, we've accelerated the treaty settlement process towards a goal of settling all claims by 2014. Since November 2008, we have reached 39 significant negotiation milestones, including 7 deeds of settlement. This compares with the Labour government's average of just 1.6 deeds of settlement per year. I believe this is an area where New Zealand is a leader, and I note the Special Rapporteur himself acknowledged the significant benefits coming from the settlements that have already been achieved. The Government has also launched Whānau Ora. Our Cabinet has agreed to repeal the Foreshore and Seabed Act, and we've expressed our support for the UN Declaration of Rights of Indigenous people. Mr Speaker, I could go on, but I'd like to note how much I value the party's confidence in supply partnership with the Māori Party, and I look forward to working with them to achieve even more in the future.
Rahui Katene.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. To the Prime Minister. How will Government address the Special Rapporteur's observation that the treaty's principles appear to be vulnerable to political discretion, resulting in their perpetual insecurity and instability?
The Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, the member will be aware that the Government has agreed as part of the Confidence and Supply Agreement with the Māori Party to undertake a constitutional review. That constitutional review will be a process where we engage with all New Zealanders, and notwithstanding the view that it will be a long conversation, we look forward to embarking upon that conversation.
Rahui Katene.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. To the Prime Minister, what is the intention of the Government in terms of addressing what the Special Rapporteur described as the continued and persistent high levels of incarceration of Māori individuals?
The Honourable Prime Minister.
Well, Mr Speaker, the Government is working hard in that issue. We've launched some time ago now a view around drivers of crime. The Associate Corrections Minister works alongside the Corrections Minister with a special focus of how we can ensure less Māori go to prison. And I think one of the key ways that we can do that, in our view, is to work on issues like national standards, because we know that if young New Zealanders can't read and write properly, then they can't have a future in the modern economy, and that could lead them to being incarcerated.
The Honourable Parakura Haramia.
Kia tāna kōrero e pai ana te haere o te mahi umanga. Engari nā te pire eu e te kau ngā rā e pana tangata kei te mahi taumaha me te pauri. E tere atu te ngaro o te mahi mō tātou nai Māori, kei te piki te nama, kei te iti te utu, e aha tāna whakautu ki tēnei. How can he claim to be addressing the economic conditions of Māori when the extension of the 90-day fire at will bill will make it harder for Māori to find and hold on to a job, and when increasing prices are outstripping wage growth, making a bad economic situation even worse? So what's his response to this?
The Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, the member's misguided. In fact, it will help Māori find a job because it's a policy aimed at opportunity, a policy aimed at giving people a chance, a policy aimed at helping particularly young Māori who are locked out of the labour markets, which is why unemployment rates for young Māori are so high. Mr Speaker, it's a policy that member should be embracing, and if he was thinking straight, he would be.
Question number 2, the Honourable